Hey everybody, welcome back. I don't know why every video I do this with my hands. Hey everybody, welcome back. Mike here, keeping my hands on the laptop this time, probably a record. Now I suddenly want to really lift them up more because I'm pointing it out. It's getting worse. Yep.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
In today's video, we're going to talk about the Google Calendar. It's actually pretty cool. There's a lot of features within Google. You know, you have file sharing, the calendar, video conferencing, all of that. And I'll be honest, as a longtime user of just Gmail, you know, a lot of times I forget that that stuff exists, but it's actually really good and works really well. And the calendar is no exception. So in this video, we're gonna go over how to get into the calendar, how to create events, how to modify them, how to share them, how to share your calendar, all of that stuff in this one video. It's gonna be really awesome. So let's jump right in. All right, so assuming you've already created your Google account, the next step is to go to google.com and make sure you're signed in. From there, you'll click Google Apps right here, and you'll just go down to Calendar, which will be right here on mine. Your location might be different. Mine is right here. Go ahead and click it. Now, once you've done that, that brings you into the calendar, as you can see here. Now, let me give you a quick tour of the calendar and how everything works. The first thing you should probably know is that by default, it's showing you this weekly view. You can change that right here by clicking that drop down and changing it to month, for example, as you can see there. We can also go back to day if we wanted to, instead of looking at the whole month, or in this case, we'll just go back to week. Now from there, we can also navigate between whatever method you're looking at here. So if you're looking at weeks and you want to go to next week, you can use these arrows right here. So if I click next, that brings us to next week and so on. Now, if we were to change that to month, for example, we see a monthly view. This again will move between months now. So that's kind of how that works. Now also, while we're here, if you do ever want to search for an event, task, reminder, or anything, you can do that with this little search button right here. Now, while we're here on the left side, we also get a nice little kind of monthly view that makes it easier to bounce around to different days and that sort of thing. We can click on days here. So if I click on, let's say the 20th, that takes me to the week of the 20th, where I can see it right here. Now on the left, we also have our calendar right here. This is Mark Smith, so that's our calendar. And then below that, we have birthdays, reminders, and tasks. So what Google Calendar allows you to do is to create different types of, I almost said events, but different objects on your calendar, which in this case, let's check this out. If we want to look at only my tasks, I uncheck this, we see that I have two tasks, or I'm sorry, let me uncheck that. There we go, I have one task, update social media. If I click on it, I have this task here. It simply has a time and it is added to my tasks, which is why it shows up on the left here when I filter. So this is a quick way to just basically say, hey, these are things I want to do this week that I don't want to share. I don't want to make it an event or anything like that. I just need a kind of, I want something on a list, like a to-do list. And when I'm done with that, I can simply click Mark Completed, and we see that it crosses it out. So now it looks like it's completed. Now in our case, if we go back to looking at all of our events here and reminders and all of that, we have also others here, right? So if I click on this one is called Update CRM. This is a reminder that I created here. So it's very similar to the task, all in this case, it's just a reminder. It'll remind us at 11 a.m. and it'll say, hey, you need to go update the CRM. When we're done with that, we can click Mark is done. We can change it here with the pencil, or we can just delete it entirely if we wanted to. Now, how do we create new events, new tasks, reminders, all of that? It's actually the easiest part of Google Calendar. All you got to do is pick the time slot that you're looking to book something at. Say we'll do 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the 17th. If you just click that spot, it'll automatically create a new event by default. We could change that to a task or a reminder. And it starts with just asking us for a name. So we'll say important meeting. From there, we specify the time. If we want to change the start end times, all we got to do is click anywhere in the gray here, and then we can start changing this. I can say, you know what, it's only a 30-minute meeting. Let's change it there. We can define if we want this meeting to be recurring. Do we want it to repeat? If we do, we can click does not repeat, and we can say repeat it daily, repeat it every week on the same day, once a month, once a year, that sort of thing. Now, if we want to invite any guests to this meeting, if we don't want to have a meeting alone, this is where we can specify those guests right here. We can enter their email addresses right here. Now, by default, the option that it gives you for video conferencing is Google Meet video conferencing, which is really easy. If I just click it, then it says, hey, I've already included the link. All you got to do, let me go ahead and get rid of that prompt. All you got to do at this point is send this invite out to your guests by putting their emails there, and they will get the video conference link. If, however, you don't want to use Google Meet, you could simply use the description down here. Let me exit out of that. All right. You can use the description right here. You could paste a Zoom link or a Teams link or whatever the case is that you prefer to use instead of Google Meet. Although I will say, just kind of a pro tip, there is actually integration. There's an add-on with Zoom for Google Calendar. You can actually add it through this plus sign right here. I actually did an entire video on how to do that. So if you're interested in that, you might want to check that out. Long story short, what that allows you to do is you'll also have the option to make this a Zoom here directly, so you don't have to go paste in a Zoom link. All right, we also have the option here to add an attachment if we wanted to add anything here. In our case, I think I'm good with this, so we'll just hit save. Again, we didn't put anybody on the invite, but we know how to do it now. Let's say that, at some point that meeting changes and someone says, the 17th at 9:30 is not good. Can we do the 18th at 9:30? All you got to do to reschedule, while you could technically click on the event and we could go edit it and change the date and time, Google makes it easy. All we got to do is click on it and drag to the new day and the new time. In this case, it's the same time, so we just drag over, and that's it. It's been rescheduled. Now, let's say while we're here, we say, I think we're going to cancel that. Or, we had an event here, right? Meet with accountant. We're going to cancel that. I'm going to go ahead and right click on it, and all I got to do is hit delete. That's it. The event is gone. Now, the last thing I want to cover while we're here is how to share your calendar so that other people can see your events, in this case, your meetings, your tasks, or whatever the case is. To share your calendar, all you got to do is go to the left next to your name, click the three little dots here, and you'll go to settings and sharing. And from there, all you got to do is go down. Now you have the first option is to make your entire calendar available to the public. If you want to do that, that's where you do it. You simply check this box, and you can give a link here as well. You could also say, I just want to share this calendar with a specific group of people or an individual. If that's the case, all you got to do is right here, share with specific people or groups, and then click add people and groups. If you click that, you then have the option to add an email or multiple emails. And you can also specify what kind of permissions do you want to give those people to your calendar. So for example, we could say see only free/busy. This will basically just tell people, hey, Mike has something blocked off from 9 to 9:30. I don't know what it is. I can't see the details, but I know something's there. So it basically is really good if you want to just show people your availability. That's probably the option you'd go with. If you were sharing this with your boss, for example, or a coworker that needs to know the details of which meetings you're in, you could then do see all event details. You could also give this person, maybe it's a business partner, you could give them access to make changes to your events or your meetings. So you could say make changes to events, which means you share your meeting invite with me, and I realize, it's the wrong time. I can actually go in there and update it for you. So that's what that would do. So that's all there really is to it. So I hope this video was very helpful for you. If it was, definitely consider subscribing, because if you don't, you're not going to see all of the funny outtakes and, not when I say funny, I mean like highly embarrassing and probably traumatizing. Either way, you'll get to see whatever happens on this channel. That's a plus, right? So that said, I hope you stay safe and healthy. Until next time, stay nerdy.